Do you feel like you can't build muscle because you're at a pure gym group, or geez, look at the veins there, any other place that's only got matrix equipment? Well, you're wrong. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to work around all those things because it's Christmas Eve. It's the only place that's open at the time that I can use. So I'm going to train here. It's fairly common for commercial gyms to only have one type of leg curl, whether that be a lying one, a seated one, a standing one, although those are a hell of a lot rarer. And that doesn't mean that you can't train legs here, that you can't grow your legs if you're using this equipment. You just need to look elsewhere in your training program and try and sort that stuff out, okay? So say you only have a lying leg curl here. What can we do? We can look at other exercises within the program, which I'll show you in a moment, we can do, which are going to be a little bit more length and bias that stretch portion a little bit more. If you only have, say, a seated leg curl or something like that, then you can use the leg extension to bias a little bit more of that shortened range, be in a hip extended position, or you could even set something up on a cable with just a cuff around your ankle. If you're finding that this pad is sliding up your leg as you're going through a leg curl, the issue is that you've misapplied these two things. Number one is the position of the axis. So in this case, we want to have our knee just off the edge of the bench. So we're lining up with this guy here, and then adjust this back pad here so that it's as high up as feels comfortable. And if you've got this right, and if you've got this right, it's not going to slide around so much. So if you have the axis placement and the point of application in the correct position, it's not going to slide around your leg. You're actually going to be able to train your hamstrings without worrying about this thing fly up and down and just pissing you off. If you'd like more tips when it comes to growing your legs, just drop me a message with the word legs and I'll send you a free guide. So instead of panicking that you're not going to be able to grow your legs because you don't have a seated leg curl and that might be the one magic exercise that you need to be doing, you can just look at the rest of the stuff that your gym has, and I'm going to take a wild guess and say that it's got some plates, it's got some bars, it's got some free weights. If not, then you should definitely move gym. But aside from that, you can work around it. You can do a lying leg curl and then we can do a length and biased exercise like this RDL here that's really going to mess you up in that stretch. And as long as you're performing it well, you're still going to grow your hamstrings. Now, if you're traveling to another gym and they've got a seated leg curl, yeah, sure, crack on, but it doesn't need to be the be-all and end-all of your training. That is just one of those things that happens. Straps have failed me today. I could easily have pulled another rep there. There was one more for sure. And slipped out my hands. I tried to come back up again and this did not, which is not ideal. But equally, there's not anything I can do about it now. I don't need to try and do an extra set to make up for it. I just need to make sure that next time I strap up, I do it properly. Using a heel wedge for your free weight squats, contrary to popular belief, does not give you more range of motion down at the ankle. It just means that instead of starting here, we start here. So we don't encounter that end range position so much. And proportionally, it almost gives you a shorter femur because the length of your knee to the floor is a bit longer, which just means that you can fold up a little bit nicer if you want to be a piece of origami. If you want to make your split squats suck, even more than they already do because they don't have any vacancies in hell or something like that, what you could try is doing the normal set with the dumbbells. Definitely recommend setting this up in front of you. Then dropping one of them. So this second variation is going to be a little bit more glute biased. You'll only get a couple of reps there, and then you'll be so fucked by the time it comes around for body weight. You can literally get a few more, and that is going to be absolutely terrible. I give it to every single client that checks in late. I still can't believe that I don't see more people performing sissy squats when they're trying to train quads. It's one of the best exercises that you can do, especially if you're trying to bias the rec fem. And you don't have to go, all the way hips extended to start off. You can keep your torso pretty much straight off. And then as you build the skill with it, use less support with the other hand, maybe even add a little bit of load to it if you're feeling crazy adventurous. But I haven't done these in a while. This is the first session here, and it's a really good exercise that you need literally no equipment to do. So you could do straight sets of these if it's a struggle, or if you're a little bit better at them, you could perform them after a set of leg extensions or leg presses or pretty much anything if you feel satanic. And if you've been watching any of my videos for any sort of time, you realise that there is a point in the video where I realised that I haven't asked anyone to like, share, subscribe, all of that bollocks there. So if you're hating the channel so far, leave us a hate comment. If you, for some reason, like me and the content that I put out, then subscribe. That's also absolutely fine. You don't need fancy fucking machines when it comes to training your abs. Some of the best movements that you can do are with an ab mat, which essentially is just going to match the natural curve of your spine. So I'll put it on something like this, and it allows me to get a much better stretch as I'm going through that range of motion. It feels absolutely incredible. I get stupid sore the next day. So it's wins all around, and anyone that tells you soreness isn't important for muscle growth can have one of these. If you're struggling to grow your calves and you don't have a seated calf raise at your gym, you've got two choices. Number one is take a look at the literature and see that shortened calf raises aren't actually that good when it comes to growth. But if you do really want to do them, all you need is a line leg curl here, pop a plate underneath it, you get the pad, and then we just set it up so that we can still get a nice stretch here. Now, is it ideal? No, probably not. Is it better than nothing? Yeah, probably. So give this a shot if you want to do seated calf raises. So like I was talking about earlier, there isn't a seated calf raise machine here. We've got a standing one. We can do them on the leg press. So that's what I do when I train at this gym. It's really not the end of the world. And my calves have always been good. So how much of an indicator of my calves have always been good, so I don't know how much of an indicator that is of what I'm saying being right, but it seems to work for me and most of my clients, so maybe there's something there. Speaking of which, if you would like some help when it comes to adapting the machines or what you've got at the gym to set up a good leg day for yourself and just grow in general, pop me a message and we can sort all of that out. Yes, session done. And considering I haven't trained here in a good chunk of time when it comes to legs, I was really, really happy with the setup of everything, how it all felt. Didn't take me too long to get into things, and yeah, overall, mint session. At least 8 out of 10 would do again. About to tuck into this concoction here. As you can see, we've got a lot of rice, courgette, broccoli, beetroot, pineapple, chicken mince, and tuna because I had some left over and I wanted to use it so it didn't stink the fridge out. That would not be ideal. Right concoction here then, but it's going to be pretty damn nice. I'm going to be smelling beautiful, and you are going to be subscribing to the channel because if you're here still here at this point, I botched that now. It was so smooth. I bet you love the videos, which means that you should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, then you should like it. And if you have already liked it, then you should send it to a mate who's also going to like it. That's the thing. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas in a bit.